Hello again, this is Mr. Teal. Today is September 30th, last day of September. It's a Wednesday. This is a video for those individuals who are absent or need additional help. Hopefully by now you have already looked at the PowerPoint, maybe even done some of the work. So this video is to help kind of check your work to see how well you did. So today's self-start, students will be combining like terms for each expression. Yesterday, we practiced kind of what to do to help us out with combining like terms. So in the expression 5m plus 7m, I'm going to put a circle around things I can combine. So I can combine the 5m and the 7m. When I put my shape around my like terms, I made sure to include the sign that's in front of it. So if I have 5m's and 7m's, that's going to give me an answer of 12m. Down the next one, negative 3v plus 8v. So I can combine my negative 3v and my 8v. That's just like saying I have 3 negatives, 8 positives, 6, 7, 8. 0 pair, 0 pair, 0 pair, and I am left with 5 positives. So my answer for this is going to be a positive 5v. Don't forget your variable. Next one, I have 3x plus 9 plus 6x minus 4. So I can combine my 3x and my 6x. Again, notice how I put shape around the operation front. I can also combine, my plus 9 and my minus 4. So I'll go ahead and do that. Again, notice how I included the sign that's in front. So if I combine 3x's and 6x's, that's going to give me 9x's. If I combine a positive 9 and a negative 4, that's going to give me a positive 5. Now students will get confused with this negative 4 over here because they'll look at that as a subtraction. So if it helps any, I can use a superpower and a consequence, and it still gives me a negative 4. And so that would keep my answer the same. Hopefully you're okay with that. This slide is just for the afternoon classes. Don't worry too much about this. There's your deep thought for the day if you want to pause it and read it. Parent-teacher conferences are today and tomorrow. Those individuals who are absent for a long period of time, this might be a good idea to have your guardians either sign up online on the school website or email me so we can set up a face-to-face just to make sure that you guys are doing okay. Win time is first and fourth hour today. Students are going to be hopefully focusing on fixing mistakes from the feedbacks. We are doing our next feedback on Friday. It's going to be about combining like terms, distributing, which is what we're doing today, and factoring, which is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So if you're going to be here on Friday, we're also going to have a review activity to kind of help prepare for it. If not, then you'll just do the feedback when you come back. So we've done the self-start today. We're going to work on doing the double rainbow. And this one is kind of an interesting topic because you've done this type of stuff before, but now we're going to start including variables with it and integers. So here we go. So first thing, what does it mean to distribute? Distribute, you could also read as expand the expression or simplify by distributing. But distributive is when you take what's outside parentheses, so like a 10, and if I have an x plus 1, that's just like saying 10 times x, which is 10x, and 10 times 1, which is just 10. So distribute means you multiply what's outside parentheses into what's inside the parentheses. So we start with this problem here. So for Mr. Teal's classes, we're going to practice kind of sound effects when we do this to kind of help us remember what we're doing. So we're going to distribute the 3 into the parentheses that includes x plus 1. So when I do that, woo! I have a 3 times x, which is 3x. Now, because rainbows in real life are always double rainbows, whether you see them or not, we have to do one more rainbow in this. Woo! So we have a 3 times a positive 1, which would give me an answer of a 3. So to simplify this expression, you would just have an answer of 3x plus 3. So now in problems like this, now we have to distribute a negative into what's inside the parentheses. So I have to do a negative 2, woo, times 3L. So a negative 2 times 3 would give me a negative 6. And then don't forget your variable. Now, this is the part that does confuse quite a few students, because if they leave it as a subtraction, a lot of times they kind of miss it. So I'm going to make sure to use my superpower and my consequence, because now I have a negative 2, woo, times a negative 5. A negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 5 gives me an answer of 10. So to simplify this expression, my answer would just be a negative 6L plus 10. So again, remember to use your superpower and your consequence. Doing this really, really helps people remember what to do, and it will also allow for the fewer mistakes. So on this problem here, I have my negative 4. So I'm going to distribute that. Woo! There's my rainbow. So a negative 4 times a negative 2 would be a positive 8. Don't forget your variable. A negative 4, woo, times a positive 8 would give me a negative 32. So my simplified answer would be 8c plus a negative 32. You could also put down 8c minus 32. That would be the same thing. But just for confusion's sake, this is probably going to be the best way to do it. Now, there's going to be instances where you just have a negative outside and nothing else. So students will get confused with this because, well, I'm so used to seeing a number out here. What do I do? Well, there is an invisible number right here that you can't see. It's a 1. So a negative 1 is what you're going to be distributing. So I'm going to do a negative 1, woo, times m. Now there's 2 ways you could write this. You could write it as a negative 1m, or you could just have a negative m. Either one of those is okay. The reason that's okay is because 1 times anything is just anything. So either one of those is okay to use. So I'm going to do my other rainbow. I'm not going to forget. Woo! So I have a negative 1 times a positive 1, which is going to give me an answer of a negative 1. Or you could also have it as a minus 1. Either one of those is okay. The biggest problems people are going to have are remembering superpowers, and also make sure you do that second rainbow. Don't just leave it at the first one. And the third one is make sure that you multiply when you do your rainbows, not add. Sometimes people will forget and they want to add, but you must multiply. So here we go. For this problem here, we have a negative. I can put my 1 right there to kind of help me out. There's my rainbow. Woo! So a negative 1 times c would be a negative 1c. Woo! A negative 1 times a positive 8 would give me a negative 8. In this problem here, you have a negative. I can put my 1 there to kind of help me out. Woo! A negative 1 times a negative 4e. A negative times a negative is a positive. And then 1 times 4e would just be 4e. Woo! I'm going to use my superpower, my consequence. So a negative 1 times a negative 7 is going to give me a positive 7. So there's 4 problems here. I'll just go ahead and let you do this on your own. If you would like to get more practice with distributing numbers, you can go to this website here, type in the code. This is a quizzes. If you're going to do this, then make sure to type in your last name and hour. So for example, if Mr. Teal is in 4th hour and I'm playing this game, then I would use Teal, which is my last name, 4, which is the hour I'm in. So you're welcome to join us. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or message me through Canvas. Have a great day. We miss you. Hopefully you guys are back soon enough.